What's up, guys? This is Frenzy. Welcome back to another episode of Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Golddigger. His castle level's a 15. He made a challenge, so I'm going to jump into it as a level 15 knight. Alright, so this is going to start to be less effective as you level up. It probably is still working decently now, but yeah, the minions start to lose their effectiveness when they when you get up to, like, you know, higher levels with higher level area of effect spells and abilities and stuff like that. I actually had a castle today that someone was trying to do that at level 24, and all he did was like Scorpio spam, and in between he used Dr. Skulls. So I was able to complete it with like 2 minutes to spare or something like that, and it wasn't too difficult for me. I actually pulled the entire dungeon because that was the only way I would get through it, but after I did that I had to use just a couple potions. It wasn't even that bad. This one's pretty cool. You know, for your level, right, you only have so much available to you, so you're kind of trying to pull people on top of this spike trap. The only thing is it's not really the best room for it, because, you know, it's pretty wide open, it's easy to dodge the pulls, and the spike trap, there's better rooms for the spike trap itself. You know, I'll look as you go through the castle, maybe I'll see a room, like, even this room would be a little bit better for what you were trying to do. Halfway down this room or something. Because the spike trap would fill this entire area, I believe. So you could have something where the spike trap isn't really skippable, and then you can have, you know, your hunger bots down here, and maybe a Cyclops even farther back, kind of turned towards the wall, so the hunger bots can pull you on top of the spike trap, and then the Cyclops pushes you back over it, and then the hunger bot, and then, you know, it's a vicious cycle that you'll keep taking damage from the trap. Other than that, this just looks like your first real damage dealing group. You know, you had some traps that were dealing damage, and this is your first one for the group. I would say that Pete Poundmore, his weakest specialization is actually the charge. I believe that's the ability he was on. He got too close to me, so he wasn't able to do it. I like the three punch combo on him, or the over the head smash, but I don't really like the charge nearly as much. I don't think it does nearly as much damage as the other ones. Also, like, the problem that I've stated with, like, the Cyclops' 3-punch combo is that he can't stay alive to, you know, keep the DPS output up, whereas Pete Poundmore can do that. So I do like that one a bit better. This guy here, you need probably some units with him, because if I'm just able to target him down, then he's not going to be effective at all. So I would say put some, like, Snotters in the front or something like that, just to kind of provide a meat shield while he resurrects and stuff. Same thing applies for the Zeke here. You want to have probably like a Defendatron guarding him, and then a spotter for him, and maybe a support. Although I don't know you can fit all that, but, you know. Again, same thing applies here. You want these Defendatrons to be a little bit farther up, and the Dr. Skull to be farther back. Dr. Skull is really like a support unit, and so are Defendatrons, but Defendatrons are also a tank, so yeah, you definitely want that. The Pete Poundmore's fine. It seems like the level adjustment didn't really work, mainly because I didn't accept the challenge in time. Also, for people who do challenge me, you guys have to set it to a week, because I don't have time to, like, just jump in the challenge, and I only have 24 hours to accept it. So if you have 24 hours for a 1-hour challenge, it's not possible for me to, like, get that done within that amount of time, especially when I'm backed up like I have been all this week. But yeah, the Pete Poundmore's fine, and then Firesley, I'm not going to really say that, you know, using him is bad. Currently, the pre-made bosses are a little bit weak, especially later on in the game. Right now, he should be working fine for you. So yeah, not too bad of a castle. The one thing that I would say about this room here is it's going up towards the top of the screen, so people are able to see things a little bit easier. That's something that you can, you know, remodify your castle so everything is going down towards the bottom. You want to start up towards the top and work down towards the bottom. Just denies vision for the hero and all that. So we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, and for number 2 we have Asger 888, castle level 15. Just run through it pretty quick here because there's not all that much available for level 15s. Alright, so, I mean, that's pretty easy to see as I'm walking up to it. I don't think anybody who should get hit by that. This would be like a better situation for like a Dr. Skull or something. Not that I really like Dr. Skull, like your level is starting to get a little less effective, but I'm just saying, like, you had all those trash mobs in the beginning of that. Unless people don't know what this square on the floor is, they shouldn't ever really get hit by that. Alright, the Pete Poundmore should have a little bit of support too, like have a spotter for him, and then maybe a bad dog if you have bad dogs, if not, like a bone puppeteer or something, just to help him out. Alright, so this one's a little bit better. I saw it barely, like, in the nick of time, and your Hungerbat's only level 4, so I have a feeling that I could have gotten hit there if your Hungerbat was level 4, right? If your Hungerbat's only level 3, your hook moves slower, but it came right under the skill bar, and I barely had time for that, and I just barely got out of the way. So that's a good hook. It should hit people who are a little bit less, I guess, less quick to move out of the way of hooks. That's something that I would have hit back at your level, you know, when I first started playing the game. I would have probably gotten hit by that. What does it actually do? I'm guessing it throws you into this group. I would almost prefer you to use something that's going to kill someone, right? Zeke, even if he gets all of his shots, I don't think there's really enough DPS here to kill a person. I would love it if, like, you were able to just have 4 Stairmasters sitting, like, right here around where the person's going to land. Like, as close as you can to the hero, like over here and over here or something like that, so that all their shots hit. And that will instantly kill someone who gets pulled by that, and I think you'll have quite a bit of success with that. Especially after you get up level 4 Hungerbots, I think it'll just get even better for you. So this one I kind of expected it. The problem is if someone's not slowed, it's almost impossible to really get them to get hooked by it. I had this same basic setup in my castle for a while, with like the jelly trap here, and I had an aggro, and the hook would just reach right to the edge of it. So if they kind of moved back in here enough, they'd be able to get out of it, and if they walked through and kind of dodged, they'd be able to get out of the hook. The only people who I was able to catch were people who kind of aggroed, stood there for a second, and like hesitated of what they were going to do, and then tried to go backwards, and it would barely hook them. And it wasn't really working that well for me. That being said, I mean, it's not the worst hook in the world, but I don't think it's that great either. You might be able to switch it out for something different, I don't know. You know, I'm kind of seeing like a lack of Cyclopses. I feel like instead of trying to set up your Zeeks and Archers with hooks, you could be trying to use Charged Cyclops. I'm not sure if you have level 4 Cyclops yet, but if you do, I would definitely make use of them. So here you have the Spotter, but there's no support. I really like a support unit with Pete Poundmore. Either a bad dog or a bone puppeteer. I really like those units. They work well with them. You know, you can have it on a medic or enrage, or obviously a bad dog for howl, and it'll work pretty good. So you do have you have level 3 Cyclops. You're very close to getting level 4. I believe it's level 16 that you get. You get level 4 Cyclops. It actually should be available to you now, I think, because I believe it's the same level up as a Hungerbot. So if you haven't yet, I would really advise getting your level 4 level 4 Cyclops, because it adds a stun to pretty much all of their effects. It adds a stun to their charge, and it adds an extra knockdown stun to their over the head smash. It's really good. This one, I don't think, the way that this was aggroed, I don't think you will ever have enough range on this Hungerbot to actually pull me down to the spot until you get to level 4 Hungerbots. So what I would do is you can use a Scorpio, that would give you enough range, or you can use 2 Hungerbots. But I believe the mini stun on the Hungerbots was reduced recently, so it might not work with 2. You probably would have to use a Scorpio here if you want to do this. And then you would want to, you know, try to put your spotter back a little bit, like over in this area here, so that the hero's just coming around this corner and then the hook comes through. And that should work decently well. And then obviously this is kind of a setup that I used. Well, no, it isn't. The initial room was something that I used to use though for a hook. All right, and here we have a Pete Poundmore and a Scorpio. I think this is pretty good. I would almost prefer. Now that I say that, I guess maybe not. I'm trying to think how you could do it. You could maybe try out something a little bit different with this room, where you could take out the Cyclops, add in a and then take out one of the Cyclops and both of the Snotters. Add in a support unit, probably a Bone Puppeteer, and a Defendatron defending him. And then have him on like medic to heal both of these two big elites. That might work a little bit better, but I mean, it'll be open to your interpretation. Like, you can watch replays and see what's working best for you. So yeah, we'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, for number 3 we have Leyna Castle level 17. Fire traps. Personally, I haven't been the biggest fan of fire traps. I think I have one of them set up in my castle, and that's where Scorpio is pulling you into them. Like in this circumstance, let me kill this guy first. So in this circumstance, like, I would almost prefer, you know, like a trap here that covers this area, like maybe a ballista trap or a rotating cannon trap, so that it kind of forces the hero to not really fight up in this area. I also kind of like Scorpios walking around this big path. They're a little bit slower, so it takes more time, and they have the opportunity of pulling you into the next group. But this isn't bad. I do like the Zeke. And I like the Enrage on the Zeke. That's good. Set up well. So that should be working pretty well for you there. And even Pete Poundmore plus Zeke works pretty good in conjunction if they do a double pull. So I like that. This, I mean, you can barely see the edge of this right here. It's not the biggest deal in the world because most people at your level won't be doing that. But it is something that I was able to see. Like, a lot of the time when I'm coming up to these choke points, alarm bells are going off already. This could be a pull. So I usually do this and hug the wall just to see what I can see down here. That's just, you know, you only having a level 3 Hunger Bot, right? You don't quite have the range. Like, when I set this up in my castle, I used to have it down here. And you just don't quite have the range. So if I get hit by this, I'm guessing it throws me into these Stairmasters. This is a group by itself. It's also skippable. I would almost prefer your dungeon to just naturally go this way, instead of kind of having this, 11-point minion group. Like, this might not even kill someone 100% of the time because it's only 2 Stairmasters. I would much prefer it to be, you know, 3 Stairmasters and Hungerbot, or 4 Stairmasters or something like that, and then just having the dungeon go this way, so you have to fight this group anyway. That way you can kind of force the kill more often. It could also, like, I'm going to test it after I kill this group, which way that springboard trap actually goes, but I'm assuming it goes down there, or else why have the minion group there anyway? Alright, so let's test this out for a second. Yeah, it does throw me over here. So I'm not sure if 2 Stairmasters is enough to kill somebody. But like I agree with you that any more than that would be a waste of points that aren't used in your castle anywhere else. So that's why I said, you know, have it naturally go that way. This group is fine. The Enrager with the Zeke being defended. That's a pretty standard group. This is one where I'm kind of like, I mean, first of all, the DPS itself doesn't really sustain well, right? You normally have the Defendatron, which I like. The Smelly Archer, it adds a little bit more DPS, but the sustainability of the Zeke is pretty low. Also with that, I don't really like ranged mobs like this coming around corners because they generally get stuck. And you have the Zeke standing here, and then like the Puppeteer and the Smelly Archer trying to get around past him, and then like a Knight can stand right here and just hit the Zeke, which will also cleave the other 2 units, or a Archer can volley. So generally I like bigger, tankier units, you know, like a Pete Poundmore, Scorpio, Mega Mutton when you get them, stuff like that coming around corners like this. It's a little bit better in my opinion. Alright, so we have a Jimbo. I mean, Jimbo's pretty weak by himself. I really do like the Defendatron with Jimbos. But it's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's not a bad group. I think it could be a little bit better optimized, though. Alright, and then you have this sort of healing guy. You're probably losing your effectiveness on this guy, I would say, at your level. If he's still working for you, I guess, you know, keep using him as long as you can, but Dr. Skull with the Resurrect, it usually falls out around, you know, level 15 to 17, even earlier sometimes. That almost hit me. That was set up reasonably well. It's mostly because it's not expected that it almost hit me, rather than, you know, how good it's set up, I guess. I mean, it's set up reasonably well, right? I come in here, I aggro, and I can barely see this at the corner of the vision, and with a Cyclops charging you with the overhead smash, you're really not going to be paying attention to that. Now, the only thing that I would say is the Cyclops with smash almost makes you want to move, and you kind of want someone to stand there and just kind of take the hook. I'm not sure what you could do to change that. It's not set up badly, though. And it's a good group regardless. Like, even without this trap here, it's a fine group, so there's not any reason not to do it, you know? Alright, I'm gonna use a potion just so I don't die here at the end. This is a pretty good group. It's kind of strange. This is like looking like a little bit of a bug where this guy's actually still defending the Zeke, even though he's dead. I think he's supposed to switch targets, but maybe not. But yeah, I mean, this is a reasonable group. It's two Zekes with a good amount of survivability. I like it. I'm not sure if you had any support for it. I don't know if you can even fit in support. It looks like you might have only had 2 points. What are Zeke's? 12, 24, 34, and then 2, yeah. Alright. So yeah, you don't have anything else that you can do with that. It's not a bad castle overall. I like the boss room. I think it's pretty good. Just everything that I said before that with, like, you know, your pulls and stuff like that. Little tweaks that you might be able to make with some of your units to increase their effectiveness. So with that, that's number 3. We're going to end the video here. If you guys enjoy what I do, please subscribe and leave a like. If you want to be a part of Viewer Castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns. You can comment on either one of my castle or a video. Give me your in-game name, summoner level, castle level, stuff like that is good. Also, you can add me and create a challenge if you're lower level. Make sure you set it to 1 week, because I have to accept it within 24 hours. So I have to accept it and then have time, if I'm backed up, to actually get to your castle. So set it to 1 week, and I'll get to it as soon as I get time. So with that, we'll end the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.